Eom Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello there, it's a beautiful day and thank you very much for joining us. You're watching the Eom Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Mori. Today on the program, as always, our conversation is to focus on the Nigerian economy. We'll be interfacing with select industry operators about their businesses, the operating environment, and other related issues. Also on the lineup is Spot On with Henry Alumona, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Henry KARLL Company Limited. And on the face-to-face is one of the biggest beneficiaries of the Local Content Act, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Steve Integrated Technical Services Limited, Steve Ayiyi. It's a package you must see. Sit back as we bring you the details.
Honey, you're welcome, dear.
Thank you, darling.
Honey, how was your trip?
Full of adventures. First, it was my luggage is missing in transit. While trying to get over that, I slipped on my way back to the hotel room. As if that was not enough, I missed my flight back home.
So how did you pay for all those expenses?
I didn't. My insurance cover did.
Wow!
At Cornerstone, we get you insured from personal accident, total loss of checked-in baggage, or even flight delay. We don't give you any hassle when you have a need. We are always on hand to settle your claims quickly. Visit www.cornerstone.com.ng. Cornerstone, the future assured.
The global call for the ban of plastic products for food packaging is fast gaining grounds. Chidi Ogwegbu is the Chief Executive Officer of the Paper Packaging Company Limited. He speaks about his company and its environment-friendly products.
The company was registered at as the paper cup factory in 2014. So we started by doing paper cups. So we started by selling paper cups to cafes, selling paper cups to juice bars, and also for events and parties. We have 4 core values. Our core values are excellence, our core values are integrity, trust, and finally, sustainability. Our products and services are categorized into 3 major categories. We have the cup line. On the paper cup line, we have both the coffee cups, which you can use for coffee, you can use for tea, for an event, or even for cafes. Then we also have the ice cream coffee cups as well, which is called the cup bowls. So you can either use for frozen yogurt, you can use for ice cream, you can use for scoops and all of that.
Femi Omogbenigun is the Chief Executive Officer of 3Line Card Management Limited, an electronic payment and processing company. He speaks about his company and efforts to make payment for business transactions easier.
3Line is an electronic payment and processing company. What we do as an organization is to use technology to bring financial services closer to the people. We develop products that focus on the lower end of the pyramid. Our mission is to ensure that we get everybody in the country included using technology and ensuring that we are able to do that in a very cost-effective manner. Creating agent locations across different parts of the country, allowing people to, open accounts, allowing people to come to those locations and do their cash withdrawal or even save money. We have the whole country focusing on financial inclusion. The central bank is also doing a lot, around financial inclusion. There's the policy around financial inclusion. SANEF is also very integral to that strategy. You have all the commercial banks who are also on board. So we have all of these stakeholders that have come together to ensure that about the 40 million people that don't have accounts have access to financial service. So today we work with almost all the banks in being able to provide services to their customers on the field and also even help them onboard new customers.
Kendall Anayi is the Chief Executive Officer of TIZETI Networks Limited, a fast-growing internet service provider in Nigeria. He speaks to us about his company and the internet environment in Nigeria.
TIZETI has been able to cover 90% of Lagos State with our unlimited internet, and we're providing internet to hundreds of thousands of customers. We've also now, earlier in this year, launched in Abeokuta, Ogun State, and we just recently also now launched Port Harcourt, which is our third city in Nigeria. 6 weeks ago, we got a license to operate in Ghana, and we've now just about setting up an office in Ghana, which will be GhanaWiFi.com. And we also now have the first unlimited voice service in Nigeria, Wi-Fi KARLL.ng. So which is, if you look at our vision, which is voice, video, and data to be number one, we have a data service, which is wifi.com.ng or Express Wi-Fi. And then we now have a voice service, which is Wi-Fi KARLL.ng. But unlimited internet requires a lot of bandwidth capacity. So we're able to then look at negotiating good long-term contracts to be able to drop the price of that.
Are you ready? TIZETI. Oh yeah now. Number one unlimited connection. TIZETI go light up the commotion. Superman speed never slow motion. The value pass the money no be promotion. The number one TIZETI. Unlimited.
And that is the EOM Business Network News.
Everybody loves Lagos. The people, the spirit, and of course, the opportunities.
I have loads of friends here. The city has so much to offer.
Gives everyone the opportunity to make a living.
At the end of the day, we all need a piece of the city we can own. A place we can come home to.
DPK not only gives you an opportunity to own a piece of the city, but also make money while you're at it. When you refer your friends, neighbors, or colleagues to DPK Homes and Property Limited and they buy any of choice property, you get a commission. Simple as that. Tell someone about DPK. He or she buys. You make money. But that's not all. You stand a chance to win cars, phones, all expense paid trip to Dubai, no matter who you are or what you do.
Partner with DPK Homes and Property Limited.
DPK Homes and Property Limited. Guarantee your future.
Razak Ahmed is the Chief Executive Officer of KAWRYWISE Financial Technology.
Primarily, COWRYWISE is a fintech company that's democratizing access to savings and investments. Prior to this time, those kind of products are largely available to the high net worth individuals. And more importantly, there are a lot of barriers in gaining access to those kind of products. So what we've been able to do in COWRYWISE is to break down those barriers such that an average person, irrespective of the amount you have, can actually make savings, have access to financial planning, and also have access to high quality investment options. We started about 2 years ago, largely, and the vision has remained the same since then, even though there have been a lot of tactical changes in terms of how we get to that vision. And the vision remains very simple: to make savings and investment products available to everyone. There is more to financial inclusion than just having a bank account. A lot of financial products that an average man should have access to, ranging from investment management to insurance to a lot more. So these verticals that have been completely neglected, or a lot of people have been underserved in them, are the areas COWRYWISE is exploring to ensure that we breed prosperity and everybody have access to such opportunity. When we started, we had some faint idea about what the core values should be. But as we progressed, we got a lot of feedbacks, and those core values have been refined as time passed by. But more importantly, it's about how do we build trust? Because to a large extent, fintech and anything internet still have some elements of doubt, especially in the minds of the average Nigerian. So the most important thing is, how do we build trust? And to build trust, we have to uphold an important value. And that value is, say it the way it is. There is no point to sugarcoat anything. There is no need to have fine print. If A is A, let the customer know A is A. So transparency and open communication are one of the fundamental values that we uphold in COWRYWISE. Currently, the services we offer range from financial planning, savings products, And when I say savings products, they are quite different from the kind of savings product that most savings accounts offer in Nigeria. We have goal-based savings, whereby an individual sets up a plan and set a goal towards meeting that plan. And the process is completely automated in such a way that you don't have to be saving manually. All you need to do is just set it up, and then the process takes it over from there. And the second part is we have access to a pool of mutual funds. So currently we have partnership with about 5 investment management firms in the country, wherein we're bringing all their mutual funds together on COWRYWISE. So you can see COWRYWISE as a marketplace for mutual fund.
D&J Properties and Investment Limited is one of the fastest growing real estate firms in Nigeria. Its services include property management, real estate brokerage, architecture, construction, sales, and many more. D&J Property and Investment Limited is built on a vision to reduce the housing deficit in Nigeria by providing affordable homes for the ever-increasing population. It identifies the potentials in undeveloped acreage, showcase and enhance its natural resources, then design exceptional family-focused communities. Adedeji Adioye is the managing partner of D&J Property and Investment Limited.
D&J Properties and Investment Limited, we are a focus-driven company. Our visions are very clear. We don't do we don't say what we will not do. We don't sell more than what we have, and we don't keep people's land for so long. We allocate to them instantly. Also, our estates are of standard. We don't use, for all our products, we don't use materials that are substandard. So if you go to our estate like Imperial Garden that is sold out, Eminence Court that is selling right now, you see that they are all standard estates.
Well, there are a lot of issues. But the most obvious of it all is corruption, of course. There has been mass housing project introduced by the federal government, and the idea of mass housing is to make housing affordable, in a way to make the acquisition of a home as seamless as possible to an average Nigerian. But what we find out recently is, what goes on, the most common thing that goes on is we have the so-called elite still being the one behind the acquisition. So they acquire it through backdoor, and that way it has kind of defeated the main purpose for which mass housing was introduced. So I'll say corruption has been a major bane in that regard.
There are 3 basic needs of every human: food, clothing, housing. Now, when there is scarcity of any of these, prices tend to go up. And the property business in Nigeria does not afford the opportunity to provide enough housing for the ever-increasing population of Nigeria. Hence, there is scarcity. Therefore, prices will go up. So how can we combat this? We have to provide more, supply more. The government cannot do it alone. That is why companies like D&J Properties and Investment Limited has come into the frame to ensure that we have our own impact in the economy. We provide opportunity for low-income earners to own their homes. We provide opportunity for people who are monthly income earners as well, such that flexible payments can be made to ensure they have property of their own.
UTM Offshore Limited is established to provide premium marine logistics, offshore support services, operation of specialized vessels, engineering, construction, equipment rental and leasing, pipeline security, protection and maintenance, procurement, supply, and general labor services, among others. Henry Osai Alumona is the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Henry KARLL Company Limited.
Nigeria is already in that direction because we also have to learn from countries like Indians and Chinese. You can see that any little thing, you see most companies want to employ from Indian technicians, China, But based on the skill development I'm talking about, developing training centers, train our technicians. It's not necessary you must acquire the highest degree the way we believe in our country, that you must go to university before you can get a good job, that you must go to higher institutions. But in India, it is not so. The client I work with, expatriates, most of them are not university graduates. They're either welder or they are fitter, which you can go with your secondary school certificate. But we are bringing them here. We value them a lot because they know the job technically. So we need to develop our local content, our local manpower to that standard so that outsourcing in a country will be easy. We just pick within our environment. We don't need to making visa for Indian to come, for Chinese to come and do some jobs which our people here can do. So outsourcing, I think, is going to be a good business in future in Nigeria regarding the way the economy is going right now. A place you are doing your business, country you are doing your business, or state you are doing your business, you must comply to government policies. And what are those policies in terms of doing business? It's tax. You must pay your tax. You must follow the procedure in doing business. And what are the procedures? This tax payment. Like Henry KARLL, we pay heavy tax because any job we do in this country, withholding tax automatically is deducted from the organization. They deduct and send to the government. We also pay our own tax. All workers pay tax. But what we really want is this tax to be utilized. A situation where you are doing a business, you are paying your tax, you don't see roads, you don't see lights. It becomes painful. You feel your tax is not being utilized. Necessary we pay our tax because that is what the law requires. Before you can set up a business, these things are there already. So tax payment is compulsory, but what we business owners are saying in the country, we need this tax to be utilized. The money companies are paying in this country as tax is enough to develop this country. It's enough to give us power. Why are we finding it difficult to get power? Why? It shouldn't be something that is difficult. We have the natural resources, we have the income, we have the resources. Money, we have the money to do it. Provide power and you see that this country will develop more and more because many people want to invest. Some individuals can't do business because they cannot afford to buy a generator to start running their own power. So tax in the business is important. Any business owner in Nigeria, pay your tax, but let the people who receive this income utilize it for the benefit of all people residing in the country. ICT is something that we know is taking over so many businesses. It has brought down some businesses. It has also enhanced some businesses. But in Enrica's case, no negative impacts. Rather, it's improving our business. You can't use ITC to do what we are doing. You can't use it to cut metals. You can't use it to wet irons. So we are still practically involved in our business. ITC is a very good development, which we have been enjoying for some period of time now. For many years, it was an issue for us, but now it's better and it's also coming to enhance the business.
Steve Integrated Technical Services Limited was incorporated in 1997 as a private limited liability company under the Nigerian law. The company offers specialized services in project management, engineering, procurement, construction, equipment leasing and marine in the oil and gas industry. The goal of Steve Integrated Technical Services Limited is to develop a team relationship with its client and provide the most reliable, honest, well-engineered solutions to problems and together achieve higher levels of productivity and profitability within business. The company prides itself with a good reputation for safety, quality, and project delivery on schedule. Steve Integrated Technical Services Limited is built on the mission and vision to provide total quality services at a reasonable cost and within the shortest possible time while sustaining a stable and expanding organization using the latest technology available worldwide and competent personnel, as well as helping to develop Nigerians. Dr. Steve Ayiyi is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer.
Steve Integrated was registered in 1997, over 20 years ago. It was registered when I was still working as a staff in a company. But what happened was this. As a staff of an organization, I was doing my job. And I have too much pressure from people who own contracts here and there for me to advise them, to counsel them how to execute their projects. And here I'm working. My organization is paying my salary every month. And I have this pressure, too many people coming to me. At the time I said, look, I will be cheating my employer if I continue with this. When I help them, some of them will say, look, Steve, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be running a company, not here. And I have that pressure from all of them. And I told myself, if everyone is saying you're not supposed to be here, then I'm not supposed to be here. So the company I registered in 1997, and I said, in 1998, I said, I have to use it. We are transforming in front of opposite First Bank in 10 feet by 8 feet container, that is the smallest container. So if you come to my office, you really cannot sit because when I put the table, you could always stand and just talk to me. And we started with that. But, you know, God is wonderful. The first contract I got from a friend who just realized that I no longer work in my company. He said, look, we can do things together. He gave me a contract. And that contract paid my 5-month salary of where I was working. And I said to myself, this thing is real. So in the next 5 months, even if I don't work, I've secured my salary for 5 months. So that was how we started. I was actually the anchor person in my company. So everybody knew me. So when I left, are you sure you've resigned? I said, yes, I have my own company now. So that was how we started. The rest is history. That's the hallmark of all this discussion. Without that policy, all Nigerian companies, I can say that again and again, without that local content policy, we'll be nowhere. That's one very good policy that's helped the oil and gas industry. Right? Even before the 2010 when it was passed, we were already enjoying that policy. You know, in those days, we have the Wibros, we have the DEU, we have the Dredge International and all that. as the major companies who run our pipelines and our facility job. But when that policy came to play, it gave us opportunity. I can say it gives Steve integrated opportunity to leverage on that policy, and we're getting jobs. We were bidding with the DEUs of those days, the Wibros and the Dredger International. Of course, what do you expect? My overhead is low at that time. So we bid and we always win. We will always win. So they all back out and say, look, let's leave this thing for these guys to do. So the policy has helped, and even the current Executive Secretary, Gina Simbi Waboche, is doing a great job. It's making sure that indigenous companies are carried along in all that they can do. It says any service that can be provided by Nigerians will go to Nigerians. That policy is a revolution to the industry. It has helped all of us. It has helped me very well. Without the policy, we would have still had the Wibros and the DEUs of tomorrow to execute projects.
To the GDP is far below the level that we would want it to be. It is generally acknowledged that insurance penetration in the country is still very low.
Well, and that's a beautiful place to call it a wrap on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you very much for spending your precious time with us. We do not take it for granted, but just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to eomcoms.com and any of our other feedback portals, as you can see on the screen. Our sincere gratitude to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Moari. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.